Welcome to Life Sciences in Black and White with me, S.J. Slawle. Today we'll be discussing vision. So the eye is a receptor, which means it has to convert light into an impulse. So if we have incoming light, that light is going to strike the cornea. The cornea's main function is to bend the light or refract the light to focus it toward the lens. And then immediately behind the cornea we have the aqueous humor, which supports the shape of the cornea, making sure it's even to avoid things such as astigmatism. Then we have this opening directly in front of the lens. That opening is called the pupil, and then that opening is controlled by the iris. So which means the iris is the one that controls the diameter of the pupil. So which means the iris controls the amount of light that enters the eye, and then the pupil is just an opening which allows light to come into the eye. Then the lens is an elastic, which means it's able to change shape for accommodation based on the distance of an object. Then we also have the vitreous humor. The vitreous humor basically supports the shape of the eyeball. Then once the lens is able to bend the light or refract the light will now reach the retina. The retina is made up of two regions, the yellow spot and the blind spot. They differ by composition of photoreceptors. So the yellow spot has the most photoreceptors, which means that's where the clearest image will be formed, because it will be able to convert most of the light into a stimulus. Then the blind spot has no photoreceptor, so which means no light will be converted into a stimulus, so which means if the light strikes the blind spot, no image will be formed. Then once the retina or the photoreceptors have converted the light into an impulse, the impulse is now transferred to the optic nerve. The optic nerve will transmit that impulse to the cerebrum, where we interpret sensation. Other parts in the eye that play a role in vision, we have the sclera. The sclera is the outer part of the eye and protects the eye. It's made up of connective tissue. And then we also have the choroid. The choroid is made up of pigments and has blood vessels, so its main function is to reduce the internal reflection so that we don't form multiple images or distorted images. It also contains the blood vessels which transport nutrients and oxygen and carbon dioxide to and from the cells in the eye. And then we also have the ciliary muscle, which plays a role in accommodation in terms of changing the shape of the lens with the help of suspensory ligaments.